Today I'm tasting this Houji Genmaicha. I'm super excited about it. It is fall outside, it's a rainy day, and this is a perfect autumn tea. And I've had it for a while, I just haven't had time to do my tasting, and it's come right at the right time for the weather outside. So I love Houji cha. And I love Genmaicha. And this is from Den's Tea, and I was actually Googling online and I saw their 2013 packaging. I'm so glad they changed it. This packaging is so much better. It's white and simple. So here's the packaging. Oh, it's got number 1608. I guess that's the lot number. That's interesting. Ingredients: roasted green tea, roasted rice, and pop rice, and we'll talk about that later. And I've actually copied this into my notes, which we'll review later. And the brewing method. Now it says leaf to water ratio 2 to 3 grams for 4 ounces. I can't remember, but something tells me my Gaiwan is like 6 ounces. So here's the tea, all measured out. Oh, and it was 3.7 grams is what I'm going to do. And it's so much different looking than the traditional Genmaicha that I've had. I'm excited. So I pulled some of the ingredients out so we could look at them closer. Now for Houji cha, which I love and have had many times, even love it in the powdered form over ice cream. I've been under the impression that it is the sticks and stems of sencha and bancha, which there is a stick right there, but then there's also leaves over here. Some of them larger, some of them smaller. There you see another stick. So I'm assuming that we are going to have some highly roasted bancha or sencha type of tea that includes leaves. Here is the roasted rice. Kind of when I shared my Genmaicha, which I really like a lot, I learned about that at the Chicago Tea Festival, the first one, and they sold out, and I just had to have it. It was my favorite tea that I had tasted there. And these roasted rice remind me of that puffed rice cereal that you can eat with the three little men is what they use to market it. I can't think of the name of it, but they have off brands as well. And it really changes the flavor of this tea. And I just love that this is like a natural, real blending of things. Nothing artificial. This is a real blended tea to me. And there's the pop rice. Now the pop rice does not do anything. It just makes the tea look fun. And another look at the tea. You can pick out all of the ingredients. I just poured out some more for photo ops. Now this does smell to me a lot more like Houji cha than it does Genmaicha. But, and I find Houji cha to be one of those teas that you either love or hate. And there's the wet leaves. Here is the color of the tea. It's rather light. Oh, it smells so good. This is like a cup of autumn warmth. Here's after the second steep. You can see the roasted rice is really growing, expanding as it is infused, affecting the taste. Here are my tasting notes for this Houji Genmaicha, or roasted Genmaicha, as was on the package. It's from Den's Tea. I taste tested it on October 2nd. It is a green tea. It's from this Shizuoka prefecture in Japan, and right there, the red is where that's located. I've got roasted down for processing. So from the website, it says it consists of two harmonious yet slightly contrasting taste components. It is a good alternative to sweetened coffee. I don't know about that. Sweetened coffee? I guess if you're looking for lower caffeine, but there's some teas that taste more like coffee to me, and I don't like coffee. So there's the origin that we saw above. The harvest, it's between the first and second harvests. I love websites that give you all these details. So the cultivar is the Yabukita. It says the tasting profile, it offers a comfortable toasty aroma both from roasted leaf and brown rice. The genmai, which is the roasted brown rice, sweetens the roasted bancha leaves. So it is made with bancha. That's key, and you can go learn about bancha in some of my other videos or Google online. They suggest 2 to 3 grams per 4 ounces, and boiling water steep for 30 seconds. And for your second cup, boiling water steep for 15 seconds. So they suggest less time for the second cup. That's interesting. I didn't pick up on that before. You can also drink it iced. I put this graphic in there from their website because I thought it helped to look at the different kinds and different types or blends that you can get. They have the Genmaicha Satsuki, the Genmaicha Extra Green because it's got matcha in it, so it's blended with matcha, which sounds very intriguing to me. Then they have this one that we're drinking, and then they have an organic Genmaicha. So Houji cha refers to roasted green tea, and I don't want to go deep into this because I have other videos on that. Houji cha is a tea that I love that is roasted sticks and stems, and Houji Genmaicha has a base that starts with Houji cha, which is with the roasted rice and pop rice added. So the traditional Genmaicha, which I also love, is made with bancha or sencha, but the tea is processed into traditional green tea. Both the Houji cha and the bancha or sencha are made with the same cultivar, but they are plucked differently and processed differently. So go see those notes to help understand what that means. The roasted rice really changes the flavor, and the pop rice makes it look fun. For me, it's a true blending of tea at its best. So I went out and got these graphics. So those little, what does he call it up here? The genmai, which is the roasted brown rice. I really like it, but it's hard to compare it to something that you've never had before, and this is the closest thing that I can come up with, And I actually went out and bought some of this cereal. So, malto meal golden puffs. If you live in other countries, you might have different cereals. This is like golden crisps. This is the three little guys I was talking about. I think they have three of these little bears sometimes. I'm not sure. He's a sugar bear. This is kind of like from my childhood. It says you can't get enough of that. And then, of course, Sugar Smacks is a very similar cereal. Maybe it's three little flogs. Free. Three little frogs in the commercial, I remember. Oh, now, no, wait. This is from my childhood. This is the super sugar crisp wheat puffs with the little bear again. I guess this is remade. This was from my son's time, and this was from my time. Oh, it's so funny. Good memories. So these are rice puffs in the tea, but the cereal was wheat puffs. But that's what it reminded me of. So these are wheat puffs compared to rice puffs. Aroma, I put the earthy category for roasted, and I also got nut, and I wasn't sure what kind of nut, but I was thinking more like a nut butter, which you'll see when I get down my tasting why that was kind of important. So the aroma of the Houji comes through more than the Genmaicha though. The wet aroma was totally different. There's a distinct aroma of an almost burnt pan-fried toast instead of roast. And I felt like it was a combination of the roasted tea leaves and the toasted rice that's giving it that really unique aroma. Almost though smelled like burnt popcorn, which is not a pleasant smell to me. It makes me think of making popcorn over a campfire and the bottom popped kernels in the pan begin burning and the smell wafting and permeating the good popcorn. I'm glad that didn't continue. That I only got that when I was smelling the wet. It was very confusing, very hard to identify because things seem to be changing. I should smell the grain category for the toasted rice, but I do not pick that up. So there's the earthy category and the nutty category, and there's a grain category, but I didn't pick that smell up. There's your color, golden. The body was light. The astringency, bright, light. The second category, there's not really any astringency I wrote, but the word bright describes what I'm tasting. It was like the low end of category 2, but I find this sometimes that category 1 is smooth, and that once you taste a smooth astringency tea, you recognize it, and that wasn't existing in this tea. So I had to put it as the bright light. Although there wasn't any astringency, it tasted bright. And it was a forgiving tea, which means I can inadvertently steep it too long, which I like. So taste, oddly enough, I wrote, it tastes buttery to me. I kept going, that's not what this is supposed to taste like. That's not what the Houji tastes like. That's not what the Genmaicha tastes like. But then I went, aha, I suppose that would agree with the nut butter smell that I got. Although it doesn't taste nutty. I just got the butter part. So this is me trying to process and understand what I'm experiencing and having difficulty doing so. So glad that there was no burnt taste as in the wet smell. But I do like it, and it's quite good and cozy. Having tasted these two teas before, I can pick up the Houji more and the toasted rice in the taste. And there may be a bit of hazelnut taste. And bright kind of describes it really well. going back up to the astringency. Bright is a very good word that I was using to describe it. I kept thinking of wood as well, but it wasn't decaying wood. It was more like hardwood. And then, as I'm talking out loud, hubby and I sit and we talk about these things. He suggested a wooden barrel used for storage. And I was like, I'm thinking maybe a wood barrel that they put wine in and it barely infuses the flavor. I was like, yeah, that might be it. That might be what I'm getting. I think I'm all over the place trying to describe this tea. Definitely. The actual liquid smells more like the dry tea now. Thankful for that. Just not the wet leaves. But the liquids does smell good. So the finish, we got juicy and mouth-watering. It tastes quenching. There was no lingering flavor. And I love this tea in the end, even though I had trouble describing it. I like this about equal to the traditional Genmaicha. I think it could have one or the other on hand during the cold months. I wouldn't need all the different varieties, such as up here. I would go back up here. These, wouldn't need all of these, or I wouldn't even need a Houji Cha and a Genmaicha, but just one of those kind of on hand, because I do really like them.